about to do this interview.
Hey, all right, we're on stream. We got the mind. It's here. It's
You're
happening. We're live. We're ready to
finally,
go.
man.
It's
A
down.
million years later, man.
We were saying though, it's meant to be. The album
Guaranteed.
dropped, and it hadn't dropped the first time we were supposed to speak, or the second time
Right.
even. So
Right.
this will make for some good conversation, man. What have you
Did
been
we
up
even
to
have a
since?
single out?
No,
I
I
don't
don't.
think we had a
Yeah,
single.
maybe. I think Gemini
Yeah.
shit might have dropped.
Okay,
Maybe.
cool.
It might have at that point, but I don't think there wasn't even a talk of like I didn't even know the project was going to be dropping at that point. So
Got you. No, right. We didn't even announce the project was dropping at that point. Yeah.
yeah. So what you been up to since it dropped? You said working on a video.
Yes, grinding it out, like trying to finish up the pieces that are going along with it. I think this time around I didn't want to just give a very one-sided aspect to it. I think the album uh, exists in a bigger space than just this audio form. So I kind of want to add a couple other pieces to it. So we're finishing up those pieces right now and
That's
getting
fire.
ready to roll those out. Yeah.
I should have said it first, but man, what a beautiful project, bro! Like
Thank you, man.
from front to back, like.
Thank you, man.
Just like I don't, man, it's so good. It's just
Thank
on
you,
repeat,
man.
like in my head, like on the phone. I get annoyed with myself how many times I hear myself like singing melodies from that shit like all day. My wife Rosie's just like,
appreciate
"What
it.
song is that from?" I'm like, "It's the new Mind." She's like, "Okay,
Man.
yeah, that's right." So yeah,
That's
man,
love, bro.
it's been on repeat in my head ever since it dropped, man. The whole thing is just a beautiful project. Like it just sounds amazing, bro. So
Thank you so much.
So thank you for that. Blessed us
Man.
with that project, bro. What
Thank y'all.
what was
Thanks
the
for
hardest part of
listening, bro.
dropping that thing, man? Because it had been a while since your last drop. So what would be what would you have to say is the hardest thing from the last drop to this one?
The hardest thing from the last drop to this one would have to be, I think there was a couple complications that were completely out of my control that had to do with like label situations and structures that I found myself in that I wasn't completely privy to or completely uh, understanding about what these structures would kind of how they would blockade me from doing the things that I wanted to do next. And so getting over that was one thing. And then afterwards, after not dropping for a long time, you kind of have this almost like scared feeling of like, do people even care anymore? Like, you know what I'm saying? Will they even fuck with what I'm doing or what I want to do? So those two humps were, I think, some of the biggest for me, because then I had to deal with this almost insecurity of like, who cares about what the fuck I have to say right now? But you get over it. You put the picture up on the wall, and you hope that people fuck with the exhibit.
Definitely. So, on the contrary, what would you say was the best part about making this project in comparison to the last one?
I think it's cathartic. Like, I definitely think that like, putting out a project that is solely based on my insecurities and struggles that I was kind of facing and problems that have been in front of my face for a very long time and stuff that I kind of dealt with along the road trying to drop it. To hear those out in the world, not even out in the world, but to kind of like hear those back and hear myself like wrestle with those things in real time, it brings like and hear people relate to those struggles. It brings like some type of normalcy to it. Like it makes me not feel like I'm the crazy person on the train. Like it makes me feel like everybody else is also going through these exact same things, and it makes it feel human to me rather than it being just a struggle that I went through. So it makes it a lot easier to kind of go through those things and have these conversations. Not even these conversations, but to have conversations about those subjects and content.
Hell yeah. Is there a conversation in hip hop right now that you think is not being had that should be had? Or like, is there a light that needs to be shined somewhere that you think isn't being shined in any particular way or idea?
I think in all aspects of everything, I think the one thing that I don't want us to get to is this experience that life is this monolithic experience in which we all experience the exact same thing. So every story has to be told the exact same way. That being that, we all, because we experience things differently, there are going to be different walks of life and music and the way that people interpret what they've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want us to get pigeonholed or put into a box where um, there's only one way to talk about it, or there's only one experience to talk about. And that's the one thing that I think that is the biggest thing. That's why I love all types of music, or I love every, from emo rap to mumble to fucking conscious to whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. I think if you can express yourself and tell your story uh, to a T, I don't care how you do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that that's important for you to tell that story and for you to actually have the voicing and the space to tell it, and to be free to do so. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. Can you speak a little bit on the importance of like remaining true to yourself? Because I think that can be kind of hard in this day and age with all the social media shit thrown at you and all the fake shit
Facts.
that's thrown out. So how do you stay
Yeah.
true to yourself in a crazy day like today?
Keep real ones around you. You know what I'm saying? Like up and down, straight. It's straight
Word.
like that. Like, you know what I mean? I think I keep like my actual friends around me, like people who actually love and care about me, and not people who are around me that just tell me like, oh, I like what you're doing and this, that, and the third. But people around me who are like, hey, bro, you tweaked on this. Like, hey, bro, you tweaking on like how you're talking to me. You're tweaking on like how you're living right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think once you have that, or people who aren't afraid of like, I keep people around me who know me as Zarif or Zig, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Rather than just like it being the mind all the time. Because you can get caught up in, you can let that shit go to your head, no pun intended.
Right.
And I don't want that. I always want to be exactly who I am. I always want to be, the uncle that I am, the brother that I am, the son that I am, and the friend that I am to everyone that I know. So if that means like keeping people around me who will hold me accountable for every set of actions or every set of all the movement that I make, I want that, and I'm not going to shun them or like dim their light or tell them to shut up when they have a critique about how I'm moving. So
That's fire. Do you think
yeah.
anybody in particular like inspired that thought process? Did you have to learn that kind of on your own? Did you like have an enlightening moment, or like was that like kind of a lesson or a value that was instilled in you kind of early?
I think that was always embedded in me.
Yeah.
Growing up like how I grew up in like foster care and kind of going through the different systems and walks of life that I've been through. Um, you kind of are not condemned, but you kind of are like uh, uh, knocked upside the head, for lack of better words, if you're not completely exactly who you say you are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not real and stuff like that. And so in every walk of life, from like women that I've dated to like friends that I've had to my father to family members, like everybody has always tried to hold not only me but themselves accountable for the moves that they made. And because of that, it just instilled in me even more so to be as honest and as forthcoming and as true as I possibly can be. But yeah, it's been like that for a minute. I could definitely thank my friends and family though for that though. I think that they further instilled it into me for sure.
That's fire. What can you? What would you say is one of the most important lessons you've learned this year? Being like with concerts being shut down and just everything, like the whole industry basically taking a halt. Like what's a really important lesson that you've taken away from this year so far?
Mm, great question. Be a chameleon. You know what I'm saying? Be
Mm-hmm.
able to adjust and pivot to what comes in front of you. I think this industry is forever changing. For individuals who have watched this industry turn from like 45s and records to tapes to CDs to MP3s to WAV files to what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to streaming or whatever. If you've seen that and you've seen like the game change, then you understand that none of this is promised or exactly as you think it's going to be. You have to constantly adapt and keep on moving. So this year, if any year, showed me like, yo, get your money right. You know what I'm saying? Not just your actual, like, not the actual currency, but like money in terms of like what you hold dear and like every internal currency that you have, love, all these other things or whatever. I want to be as whole as possible if whatever situation comes to me. And I think this year taught me to like get your ducks in order, like, you know what I'm saying, get everything in a row. Because if you don't, then anything can happen and it'll knock you off your square, and you can be like, oh shit, like I don't even know how the fuck I got it, like, you know what I'm saying.
Hell
So
yeah.
yeah.
Who's somebody in your life recently that's accomplished something and like somebody you're proud of, and what are you proud of them for?
Uh J Stock, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I put this
Hell
on
yeah.
him, bro. Like,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, man, this man has overcome so much, and you see somebody go through life and fight their entire life in existence to be and to exist, and then you think like, damn, they deserve the win, and then they get hit again, and they get hit again, and they get hit again, and his fight, his grit, his ability to rise above it, to stay positive, to be like the one of the best human beings that I've ever met in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like he brings light to a room. Um,
Word.
I never met nobody like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I haven't, and that shit is impressive and it's inspiring. Like, you know what I'm saying? It makes me want to be better. Like, it makes me want to, it makes me strive towards a thing that I never thought was even fathomable. It's fathomable. Bull. I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And like that's just a good dude. I want everything in the world for him. I want like the best for him, and I know he gonna get it because he deserves it. And I'm just proud of him just for existing. Like, you know what I'm saying? For just
Hell
being,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's a fight every single day, and he proves that battle rages on, and you can win it if you just like choose to move forward, because we got something to say and something to do
That's
while we
fire.
here. So
Hell
yeah,
yeah. Hey, shout out Lacey and Brandon. Appreciate you stopping by the Twitch chat. And of course, Rosie's there. I appreciate you being there too. Let's see. Where did the name theMIND come from exactly?
acid trip.
Really? Oh, that's crazy. I was just on an acid trip today.
Hey, let's go.
Me and my wife took a little trip today.
Let's go. Welcome to the other side, man. Nah, it actually happened, I think, during an acid trip. It was a situation in which I think after one, I kind of kept on saying to everyone around me, like, the mind is flawed. The mind is flawed, or whatever. And I wasn't. At first, I thought that I was talking about this, uh, the actual mental, the actual brain and stuff. But then I think that somewhere along the lines, I started realizing that I was actually talking about me. The
Mm-hmm.
mind itself is flawed.
Okay.
That I think in the body, if there was any place that the soul could exist, it would be in the mind. Um,
Huh.
so I started saying all these other things because the brain could actually tell the heart to stop. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. But like um, after all of this, after all of these moments or whatever like that of saying the mind is flawed or whatever, I then switched it from saying that the mind is flawed to like I'm flawed, and then further pushing it to the point that I was the mind, or the mind is me.
Okay.
Rather, I don't think that I don't think that the mind is like this one thing. I think that it constantly mutates. Like actually, it's a stream of consciousness. It's a thing of it's a constant thing of being. I can't actually take credit for who it is.
Okay.
I am humbled that I am even a vessel that it exists in, that it exists in. If that makes any sense.
It's in existence, and you're
It exists. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You know what I mean?
I feel that. That's fire. That's a
Yeah.
fucking cool answer, man. Thank you so much.
For sure.
Damn, that's
Appreciate
really
you.
dope. Ah, man,
For sure.
I just gotta take it back to man. I remember the first time I ever saw you in person. It was at a Mick Jenkins show,
Oh
like
shit.
probably 6 years ago, man, at the Metro or something. And I remember
God damn.
you came out and you had a Flyers hoodie on, and I had no idea who
Yes.
the fuck you were. And you were talking to this. I was like one of the first people in line, and you were talking to like somebody else up in the front of the line. And I was like, no, I had no idea who that was. And then you ended up on stage, and my mind was blown. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know that was that guy. Now I feel like this jackass. Like I could have said hi to him. Like I'm a piece of shit. Like
Not at all, bro.
6 years later, here we
There
are.
we are, man. Yeah.
Here,
Who would have thunk it?
Who
Look, who would have who would have thought?
just like
Crazy.
piggyback on that a little bit, the Flyers jersey. You're from Philly, so
Yes.
what's one of your favorite things about Philadelphia?
I don't want to be like super what's the word? Typical or um steaks, bro. Cheesesteaks, like you know what I'm saying?
I had it once.
I don't,
It lived
you
up
know
to
what I'm
the name.
saying? I
It was
think like
fire.
people, I think every other city that if you are live in a city, and this is a disclaimer for everyone in the world right now, you know what I'm saying? If you are in a city and you call your cheesesteak a Philly or a Philly cheesesteak or whatever like that, it is in fact not a cheesesteak. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's impossible. You can't put the name in front of it. Like it just doesn't. You can't put the city on it. You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
call like, oh, let me get a Chicago pizza, like, or this is that and third. You just call it a deep dish. It is what it is, and so on and so forth. So I think the exact same thing stands for that. So now it would be that, and I think soul music, like all of the soul music that exists in Philly, man, I love it, bro. Like the spirit that's there is ridiculous, man. It's an underdog spirit, and there's a lot of hurt and and pain and triumph that comes out of that city. So I feel like that like carries with me, or I carry that with me everywhere I go.
Is there anything in like if somebody wanted to look up something like some of the history of Philadelphia, like what would be an event or something that you could point to like show some triumph of some people from Philly?
The move bombing, the Philadelphia move bombing. I'll
Okay.
just leave it as that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go look that shit up. The police department bombed the whole city block in Philly, and you know what I'm saying, on some fucking domestic terrorism shit. So like, go check that shit out.
Shit,
It's
I think I
fucked
might
up.
have heard a little bit about that, but now I'm definitely gonna go look into that. I appreciate
Check
it.
that shit out, man, for sure.
Shit, this is a question I've been asking. Oh, well, we got a couple questions from the chat. They want to know if you're ketchup or no for the hot dogs.
Ketchup or no for my hot dog?
Yeah,
Ketchup for sure. No
ketchup for
mustard.
sure. Yeah, I don't fuck with the mustard either
I
myself.
don't do mustard on my hot dog.
And
No.
then they want to know if do you cheese whiz, yes or no?
Cheese whiz on the cheesesteak. Now this is okay. This is a tough question. No, for real, for real. No, hear me out, bro. Like, so
Okay.
there's a couple ways that you can go about this. This is the thing that I think a lot of people get confused about cheesesteaks or whatever like that. Cheesesteaks are not a monolithic experience. You can go to different hoods, and like if you go to West Philly, they're gonna make a cheesesteak for you different. You go to Uptown, they're gonna make a different cheesesteak. You go to North, they're gonna make a different cheesesteak. South Philly, same thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Remus.
Exactly. So it's like you know what I'm saying. My man just said it's like Remus and Harold's. You know what I'm saying? It's a completely different experience, but it's the same exact thing. So sometimes, yes, I do like cheese whiz on my cheesesteak or whatever like that. Majority of the time, no. I'm a very American cheese. You know what I'm saying? Ketchup. What? Provolone. Chill out, bro. Like a very American cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup, mayonnaise. You know what I'm saying? Cheesesteak, very regular, degular. You know what I mean? Standard. Ketchup on there. We good, man.
I think that probably helped. That just answered your question. The ketchup question was originally for the steak, not the hot dog.
Got
so
you.
there we go.
Oh, yeah.
It was perfect.
Yes, definitely ketchup on it. Definitely ketchup on the steak.
We gotta add. This is a really good question from the Twitch chat. Before I get on with my other ones, if there's one song that you would say embodies who you are as an artist, what song would you put somebody on for the first time?
My song?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Ah shit.
That's a tough one on the spot.
That's
a really
shit.
tough one on the spot.
I would say that
But it's a good
embodies me as
question.
an artist. I would say, damn. I like it. Part of me wants to say Busy Sirens because I like that talks about me now.
Okay.
But I also part of me wants to say like Mercury Rising or Atlas Complex.
Okay.
Like one of those three kind of does it for me. I think Atlas is also an experience of like. I think Atlas. It would probably be Atlas then. Atlas Complex is like, yeah.
Okay.
It's like from top to bottom, it feels like it explains exactly who I am. Even oh my god, I want to. Part of me wants to say Craig too. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I
both of those go crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
like I feel like Craig also like but that's also a very post who I am, the post 25 version of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Atlas, I feel like kind of deals with me as overall as I am. I don't know. That's tough, man. It's a couple songs. I would probably do that top 5 though. like Atlas, uh, Craig, uh, Mercury Rising, Busy Sirens, and yeah, I'll just do those top four.
Word.
Yeah.
I have the next question for you is success. What is it to you? Have you attained it for yourself? Does it is it a changing thing? What is
Shit,
success in your mind?
the chat is going crazy. Okay.
Oh, that
I'm
was
a.
mine, but
Okay, that's you.
yeah,
Okay.
we're back on me.
Fuck. That's crazy. That's a heavy. I would say that success for me is the ability to not only be self-sufficient, but the ability to take care of the people that I love and care about, and make sure that they're in a space and place where they are cared for and don't want for anything. Not want for anything, because that's not what I need, but they don't need anything as far as to exist at a very normal level of like food, shelter, you know what I'm saying? Worry system, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the ability to just be okay.
Yeah.
Um, so that's the level of success for me. And no, I don't think that I've obtained that yet. I think that I'm constantly still reaching for that and constantly still running for that. And also peace. I don't think that I've fully obtained peace. I think that I'm coming close to it and I'm trying to, but
Word.
it's a hard feat, you know,
Yeah, definitely not easy to attain for sure.
for sure.
Something I don't think gets a lot of light spread on it enough is female rappers in the game. So who's some of your favorite female artists right now?
No Name, John Doe, Rhapsody, freaking Tierra Whack, Carrie Foe, like, you know what I'm saying? We keep going, man. I like City Girls. Um, who else? Baby Tate. Huh? You said what? Flo Millie, of course, man. I love like
Hell
look,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Flo Millie. We can keep going, man. Like I feel like female rap is women in rap right now are having they own this shit. Like it's not on us anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they own it. It's theirs. Like, and that's perfectly fine. I'm completely cool with that. Um, Shit's fire. Like it's so much shit out there. It's so much fire shit.
Hell yeah. What does your writing process look like? Do you have like are you taking like verses you wrote from like a year ago and piecing them together with shit you're going with now, or do you like are you going into the studio with something that you've written? Are you writing fresh in the studio with somebody while something's being made? What is does it change? So how does your writing process work for you?
It depends. I'm a very if I work on something, if I start on a song, I want to finish that song and like whatever that structure is for that song. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's very rarely that I take a piece from an old song and put it on a new song.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I kind of I've always kind of called myself like a current events writer,
Okay.
in which like I kind of talk about where I'm at right now. So it's kind of hard for me to kind of dip back and dabble in like old parts of me to kind of make it fit like a puzzle with new shit. But then again, like I mean, I just was hanging out with Renzel Boog, and he played me some shit that I was like, I forgot I made this. Like I don't like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm also very absent-minded and forget that I make shit, so I don't even know. Like I want to incorporate some of the things that I wrote that I
That's
can't use
hilarious.
anymore. But yeah, but
Oh
yeah,
man.
I typically I would prefer to go to the studio with something that I've written, like, you know what I'm saying, and like kind of came up with it, and then once I get to the studio, I perfect it and like figure out other things that happen, because it's things that's just going to hit you in the moment that you didn't expect
Word.
once you're in the booth.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite place you've traveled so far?
Ah, it would either have to be I like Sydney, Australia a lot. I like Madrid, Spain. Uh, Germany, Berlin is fucking amazing. Uh, Toronto is
Toronto.
like
Okay.
great. Toronto is really good. I don't know,
What do you like about
man.
Toronto?
I like I like Canada's outlook on culture. Like, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Canada's outlook on culture. I think Montreal or even or Toronto, like it's what America hopes to be sometimes,
Okay.
which is like, you know what I'm saying, this
Yeah.
clear blend of like all of these different cultures like kind of hanging out and chilling. Not to say that they don't have their own problems because they do. But like it's more so to the point of like they have like there's this thing in Montreal that happens called Tam Tam. Man,
Mhm.
Tam Tam is just like literally like a bunch of people from different walks of life meet on this giant hill and they just like, do random shit like fucking play music and toss frisbees and chill and smoke and like it's fire. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
cool.
And I'm like, I remember the first time I've ever went there and first time I've ever gone there and I was just like, yo, this is what America hopes to be. You know what I'm saying? And it's not. It's not. It's just like this, this big
Interesting.
potluck of human beings existing. So it's dope.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
If you had a dream track, one producer and then two artists to work with, what would that be for you?
Dream track. Um, fuck. I would want Andre to be an artist on it. Uh, I
That's
want to say
fire.
Frank, but I'm not going to say Frank. I'm going to say Stevie Wonder.
Ooh, okay.
So Andre, Stevie Wonder. Stevie also is playing on it as well,
Okay.
and I want it to be produced by Pharrell.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that would be the dream track.
That would go.
Pharrell
Whoa.
or Pharrell like in executive produced by Quincy Jones.
Okay.
That's the dream record. I would also want Felix to be in that session.
Oh man.
And
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
like it would be fun. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh man, I just had a good one in my head and I just lost it. Shit, I hate when that fucking shit happens. Go blank. I got a couple. So I like to do a little section where I kind of introduce you to the Talkin Truth brand a little bit.
Gotcha.
And I do that through the tree because the tree is very
Okay.
prominent in the brand. It represents growth, and a lot of the music that we listen to helps you grow mentally and helps
Yes.
help me get over a lot of shit and helps me cope. So,
Okay.
so starting from the ground up, the roots represent your core values. They hold you down. So, what would you say a couple of your core values that you learned as a kid that you hold with you today are still here?
Family, honesty, loyalty, and being and just literally being like having drive to if you can push through things, then you gonna make it. So yeah, those things would
Word.
be my roots.
Second part of the tree is the body of it, and that represents the people that you keep around you. So, can you just speak on the importance of keeping a good team around you or good people around you
Yes.
to keep you built up?
Yeah. My friends and family are like some of the best people that I've ever met in life. Like if you're around me, I love you and you inspire me. Period. Like end of sentence. Like it just is what it is. I love having people around me that not only push me but keep it a buck 30 with me. And if we could do that, then I we can take over the fucking world.
Word.
So I love that. My dad does not lie to me at all. He'll tell me if like some merch looks weak. He'll tell me if like
That's
if like
good.
you know what I'm saying, like I'm dressed weird. He'd be like, yo, like even if he doesn't get it, it doesn't matter. Like he just like keeps it a buck with me, and I love that. Like even it. So yeah, I just keep people around me who are honest um and true. So yeah.
Hell yeah. Got a kudos from the chat, getting a lot of hard questions thrown at you and nailing every one of them. So they appreciate the conversation so far, man. I appreciate you coming
Let's
on, man.
go.
This has been
I
dope.
appreciate all of y'all, man. For real.
So moving up the tree, you got two more parts. The second to last part, branches, and that represents the experiences that you've had in life. So what would you
Mhm.
say one of the coolest experiences that you've had that your music has brought you so far?
The coolest experience that my music has brought me. Traveling, man. I grew up in Philly, and I never thought that I would leave Philly, and
Hmm.
to leave and to experience different cultures and different backgrounds and different lifestyles that I myself was ignorant and unprivy to. It changed the way that I lived my life. I felt like I was living my life in a very much so in a box, and it took me out of that box and put me in a place where, um, Brad, like I accept anything, like you know what I'm saying, any walk of life, anything, like let love be love, like you know what I'm saying, and everything is everything, and I understand that now at a way more so than I did as a kid. So like I attribute that to traveling and being able to experience the world, more so than like my little box that I grew up in.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Last part of the tree is the leaves, and that represents the lessons that you've taken from all those experiences. So, what would you say is? I guess we've already touched a little bit on the lessons we've learned this year. So,
Yeah.
I guess is there a lesson that you learned as a kid? I guess that still sticks with you a lot today. Like maybe something that I don't know, you got in trouble for something, or I don't know, just something that stuck with you from your
Mm.
childhood that like you maybe think about every once in a while.
It's a subject that I kind of play with on the project, no pun intended, is not playing too much. Like, you know, understanding like there's a time and a place for everything. Uh, Understanding that some shit is very serious, some shit is exactly what it's supposed to be, and some shit is like, you know, you should live and laugh and be completely as open to the experience as possible. And then the other times, it's like times to shut up and listen and uh, just be present. Um, and so I had to learn that lesson the hard way, to, you know, kind of stop playing and kind of just sometimes be serious in the moment. So yeah, that would probably be it. Stop playing so much.
Word. Last branded question for you is what does truth mean to you?
Truth means to me. Truth means to me peace. Truth is the ability to go outside of your own personal beliefs, outside of your own bias, outside of um, you know, the existence of what you've known, to actually exist in a place where you might not even understand it, but you know for a fact and you feel for a fact that this is the essence of like existence. And I think like that's truth for me.
Word. Awesome. Can you remember the first time that you thought like, shit, I could rap, or like, shit, I could put some music together. I could put some bars together.
I was thinking about this the other day. A friend of mine, not even a friend of mine. I my dad had took me to like this session with like this random, you know, everybody be having a record label and shit like that. And like this dude was like, "Oh, I'm trying to sign you." This is that. I had to be like
Yeah.
16 years old. And it was like, "Yo, I'm trying to sign you." This is that. And the third. It was a subsidiary of a subsidiary of a subsidiary. Like, and they like had distribution through Def Jam or whatever. I remember sitting there and like we came into the studio for this meeting and uh, they asked me like to write a song, like on the spot or whatever. And I think it took me like 15 minutes or something like that. Like I'm talking about hook, verse, another verse or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Murdered that shit. And they were like, damn. And I was just like, they was like, yo, nobody comes in and does that like that. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, oh, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we in the league now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be good anymore. I want to be great. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a huge difference between the two. And I think like we are all capable of good. You have to push yourself to be great though. That's what I want to be. And so I think at that point in time, I looked at myself and I was like, oh, I'm good at this, but like I want to be great. And great takes work. Greatness takes, you know what I'm saying, sacrifices. Greatness takes uh, uh, this ability, like I said, to push yourself outside of the limits of where you see yourself at
Yeah,
or you've
definitely.
seen yourself at. Yeah.
Speaking of sacrifices and just trying to be great, what is one of the biggest sacrifices that you've had to make since while making music, or you know, what is something that you have had to sacrifice this year, in particular this year?
And in particular this year,
Yeah.
there um we think that, you know, because um you technically can't do the things that you normally do. That is excuse for free time. When in actuality, that free time could be filled with like a bunch of other things,
Yeah.
And I think I was having this conversation with my homie Bridge today, and it was about like I was telling him, I was actually talking about Warzone, and I was just telling him like I can't like I was like I'm falling out of love with this, not because I don't like the game, but more so because I was like, bro, I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I gotta go do this shit before I can do this. And I keep on putting it off to do this. So like I gotta go do this. So if that's the case, if I then have to step away from like playing or kind of kicking it, then that's what it is. It's the same lesson that I told my little brother about like time management and understanding like, where you're at versus where you want to be and what it takes to get there. So yeah.
If you're having like a really rough day, speaking of like self-care and stuff, how do you try to work yourself back up to being productive? Because man, there's some days you just like literally don't want to fucking do anything. So like what are you doing to try to get back to your regular self?
I battle with depression, so I like have like whole serotonin flips and shit. But I think the one thing that I can try to do in those moments is like I do like really weird mundane tasks like wash dishes or clean shoes or like what I'm saying, like clean up. All of those things push me towards a place where I can like silence my mind. No pun intended, but like I can like just I can like silence like the other thoughts and just like kind of just exist in that moment. Like simple shit like I'll give myself a facial or like what I'm saying, or like go for a walk. I used to do these things called vision quests where I would just like disappear for like a week or a couple of days in order to just like figure out where the hell I'm at. And I think all of those things are important to your psyche and to your peace, as much as you can try to obtain it these days and crazy times.
Can you just speak a little bit on how you met Mick and everything? Because you just been on quite a few of his projects, and yeah, it's awesome to see what you guys have created over the years, and it'd be interesting to hear how you guys met. So.
It's also a very crazy thing. I found the video of the first show that I did with Mick. It was at where's that crazy it's a venue like up north somewhere. Not Metro. It's like super huge. I won't probably remember.
Aragon?
I think it was Aragon. Yes, I think it was. I think it was the Aragon. Yep, I think it was the Aragon. And he was doing a show, and I think Webster X was opening up, and we had became friends after that. But that was the first show we did. The first time that I met Mick was, I think, via Rosa from Drama Duo had brought Mick through the crib. And we had a crib on 18th. We had a loft like them people. We had a loft on 18th, and he came through, and we probably talked a little bit during that time. I don't think we made any music that first day. And then the next time he came through, I think we made this song called Gravity. Okay. Or not Gravity, called The Moon. It was The Moon. It was like me, Sean Doe, Mick, and I think Via might have been on it. Okay. That was the first time, and then the second time we made Shipwrecked.
Oh wow.
Shipwreck. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Second time we made Shipwreck. I was like yeah, that's the second time. I was like mumbling on the side, and he was like, doing something to the beat or whatever. And I just kind of mumbled. He's like, yo, that shit's fire. You trying to put that on here? And I was like, say less. And so I put it on there, and then we like Shipwreck became what it was. And then the third time was we did Dehydration. I got an email from him, and it was like, wow. it was an email that said, it was like DJ Dahi, Mick Jenkins featuring you nigga. And I was like, literally, and I was like, who is you nigga? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, so I started listening to the song, and I was waiting for somebody else to come in. For whoever this dude, this rapper named You Nigga was to come in, and he never came in. And then I read it again. I was like, oh, he's talking about me. And so that was like the third. That was the third excursion in which we met or whatever like that. And then we did Dehydration. And Yeah, so that was like those were like the first three occasions. But then afterwards, we like started like actually forming a friendship and a bond. And that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
blood couldn't
fire.
make it thicker. Like that's my dog. You know
Shit.
what I'm saying?
To piggyback exactly on that, what is the importance of building a friendship and shit when you're making music? Because I feel like just hanging around Boog and hanging around Stock and just
Mm,
I mean, I appreciate you guys so much for letting me in your space and just
for
observing
sure.
you guys for what I've
Yeah.
been able to. And that's like one of the most consistent things I've seen is people who are friends make the best music. Like you guys just have
Yes.
this synergy and this like it's just instant. Like there's no
Yeah.
like there's no misses. And if there is a
Yeah.
miss, it's cool. It's put on the side for then, and then
Facts.
something fucking fire is made right after that anyway. So,
Facts. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
can you just speak on like that a little bit, having dope people around and being friends, and how friendship can help nurture the music side of things?
It's like I said earlier, like friends hold you accountable. And then also you kind of like when you're like rapping with somebody or like making a song with somebody, you want to outdo them, not outdo them to the point of like like I want to do better than you. Like I want to outdo you to the point like we make a song like where someone questions like who had the best verse, Jay-Z or Eminem. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I want that to be I want that to be the question. And so because of that, you bring the best out of each other. The worst thing or the last thing that you ever want your friend to say is like, "Yo, take my homie off this record." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right?
like that's not what you want to hear. So you just kind of want to do as good as you possibly can do. And I think for me, I've been lucky enough and blessed enough and humbled enough to like have friends who are really good at the things that they do, and it's pushed me to be better at everything that I want to do and continue to try to do.
Word.
Man.
I think Lon is the one that inspired this question exactly. He talks about making timeless music all the time. Can you
Yeah.
just speak on that a little bit and how important it is to? I mean, shit, your music is gonna speak to people 10 years from now. Like that shit is
I hope
fucking
so.
amazing.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, man. I want to. I think the one thing that me and Boog and like all of my friends want to do. I don't want to make music that 2 days or 3 weeks or 2 months or 2 years from now that I look back at and I'm like, well, this feels dated or this feels old. Um, I want to make shit that like exists and can continue to exist. So with that being said, there's a certain way of going about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think blues artists believe that you trap a piece of your soul in recorded music. So if I'm going to create Horcrux off of all of my songs and stuff like that, I'm going to make damn sure that it's the best part of me that's in there.
hell yeah,
And I want to continuously do that. I don't want to make, I'm not trying, this is God honest. I don't want to put out anything that I believe is just like half-assed. I want to give the world like the best parts of what I think I have. You know what I'm saying?
word.
And then you can sort out what you think the best is from that rather than a situation in which I just give you everything and ask you the question of like, what do you think of this? Yeah, I walk into every session or every um, song with the anticipation and the ability to be like, Doug, I want this to live 100 years uh, and outlast me. I'm scared of dying, terrified of it. Like honestly. So if my music can make me immortal, then like I'll put it all in that. So yeah,
Man, that's fire.
yeah.
Shit, man, I don't think I got anything else for you. I appreciate the conversation, man. It was really
Truly, bro.
amazing. I
I
appreciate you
appreciate
coming
you,
on.
man.
Hey,
This has been
thank you.
dope, man. I was like, I thank you a lot for
You had
this,
a good
man. Thank
time?
you for, yes, man. Thank you for being
Hell yeah.
patient with me, man, bro. Like
Hey, it's
it's
all
been a
good.
while, man. Like, and I'm so happy that we finally made it happen, bro.
Hell
So
yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
man.
anything you ever need, I don't know what much I can do, but we're trying to build the
Nah,
platform up. So if there's anything we can ever do for you, man, let me know.
definitely, and vice versa, bro. For real, for real.
I
So like, I'm
appreciate
here,
it.
man.
Hell yeah.
Already, brother.
All right. Have a good rest of the night, man. Appreciate you again for
You do
coming
something.
on. Stay safe, man.
Peace, peace, everybody. Love you.
Later. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Hey, I moved the screens on there. Hey, so that was theMIND. That was awesome. We were waiting a while to do that one, but it was well worth the wait because his album had come out at the right time and everything. So that was a really awesome conversation. I appreciate everybody who stopped by tonight. I've had kind of a long day, so I'm gonna call the stream pretty quick tonight. But be here on Tuesday next week. We got Fresh Waters from Pivot Gang coming on. That's gonna be happening before Christmas, and then me and the wife are headed to Indiana for our Christmas celebration. So that's happening on Wednesday. So shit. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. Did it again. Hey, you guys helped. You guys were part of the conversation. I couldn't have done it without you guys. You were asking great questions too. I appreciate it. You helped the conversation. Like you literally, you guys do more than you think. Like that, you guys saved me a couple times with some of your comments and questions and shit. I seriously appreciate every one of you that stops by. Every second that you spend here, it means more than you guys can imagine to me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys more than anything. Yeah, everybody have a good rest of your night.